Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for April 30th, 2023. So I will be posting this a day late. I normally post on Sundays, but hopefully you guys have seen my Q&A video that went up on Sunday, which was my 6-year anniversary here on Booktube. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so if you want to watch that, I will have that linked down below, or go to my channel and just look at it if you'd like. It's pretty long, but there's quite a bit of questions, which was really nice. I really appreciate all the people who did put questions on my announcement video, so thank you so much. And anyway, so I got that done. So my weekly read update is posting a day late, but I'm still going to do it on Sunday because I have time, and again, I have to work. So there's only so much I can do during the week. And I also want to just keep on schedule, even though this is posting a day late, if that makes any sense. So not much to really report. I had a great weekend. Spent a fair amount of money at 2 library book sales. And then I went to Powell's for Independent Bookstore Day. So I did quite a bit of damage. April is definitely, I've bought the most books in one period of time, since December, which I always buy a lot of books in December for some reason around Christmas time. And then usually May is my other big month, but April, I've been doing so well with keeping things kind of balanced that this month just kind of threw it out. And again, I went to a library book sale with my dad down in Corvallis, and we went on Friday night. We went for when it first started at 4 o'clock. I made it there 3 minutes before they opened up. So good for me. I made it because I left work a little early. And then we went back on Saturday morning because everything was $1 cheaper than what we'd paid the first. So I got to cut a few more bucks that day. And then, my parents and I, we hung out those 2 days. We did some stuff, and we went to a winery for lunch on Saturday, which was really nice. It was the Willamette Valley Winery. In case any of you guys know, in the Willamette Valley, you can see it right south of Salem. You can see the vines, and the winery buildings are just above. It's really it was a gorgeous view. It was so clear. You could see most of the coastal mountains, and just the way they how they were just kind of bluish in the distance. It was really, really pretty. I didn't get any pictures of it because, I was with my parents and I just didn't take any. That's just not how that works. And I got to buy a bottle of wine. So, hey, everything worked out well. So I got home last night after sitting in traffic for 45 minutes. If anybody knows, when there's an accident around Wilsonville, traffic is horrific. Anyway, so it took me a while to get home. And then, of course, I stopped at Powell's on the way home. I stopped in the Cedar Hills in order to get more books because that's what I do. I pretty much think I've just kind of written it off. And then today I went to the Washington County library sale that was over in the Brookwood location. So I'd already gone to the Beaverton City one 2 weeks ago. And I didn't get very much, luckily. I got 7 today from this one, so I did a little more damage than I meant to, but, that's kind of how that works. I've pretty much, my leash has been snapped off, and I'm just trying to calm myself. Maybe May, I will try to calm myself around my birthday, but I really don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, wow, that was a long intro. Sorry about that. So let's talk about the books that I finished, I finished 4 things. And my reading kind of flipped a little bit on what I picked. and then what I'm in the middle of and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So I went back and finally finished Lost in the Moment and Found by Shauna McGuire. This is book number 8 in the Wayward Children series. I started this book in February, so it was already a month later than when it came out, but I already knew that this was going to be hard hitting, and it really was. And it was really hard for me to read the first 45 pages of this was painful. And it's only because she wrote it so well. And the trigger warning is in the first, in front of the book. So if you want to look at that, but it was just brutal from a child's point of view of being manipulated and stuff. And it was just horrible. And then the story itself of the because these are portal fantasies. She goes through a door at one point to escape. And then the price that she pays for that. And this one was a hard one. Just overall, I think it's still really well written. It's just, it didn't, it hurt me too much. I think just too much for me to give it a 5 stars or anything. But I really think it's a really well done story and does talk about certain hard topics. And I thought it was a really good one in the series. Just will not be one of my top favorites, but it's definitely not in the lower part. It was just so hard to read that first part. I had trouble. And I admit I had a really good childhood, so it's really hard for me to read that. But I did finally finish that. So that's one of my pre-orders that I've read, which I'm trying to catch up on. I'm not sure I'm going to make it to June where I read all my pre-orders, but I'm going to get close. That's my goal, is to try to keep on top of those. But I did finish that. I then finished, I started and finished Working for the Devil by Lilith St. Croix. This is the first book in the Dante Valentine series. So I started this as a reread last year, I think in May. And I just got distracted. I had so many things going on. And I read a lot of other books. I got pulled into a couple rereads that I was doing that was more amped to read. This was what I have physically. Again, I rebought the books because I had a bind up. So I had read the first 2 books in this 5-book series. And then I never continued it because I hated reading out of the bind up. So last year I bought all 5 books separately. Well, they came in a set. Someone had all 5. So I bought them all together, but they're all the individual books. So I haven't read this fully all the way through in about 10.5 years. So I couldn't remember everything that happened. But I finally, as I said, I finally reread the whole thing, and I'm really glad I did. It's just, I feel like this is one of those series where if you can get through the first 100 pages, it gets better afterwards. It's just a hard start because of what's getting thrown at you and learning about the world. And you just, this is following Dante Valentine, who is a necromancer, and she is accredited. So she is one of the, she's only one of a few who are in this town called Saint City. I'm not sure where that is. I'm guessing it's kind of like West Coast America, but I'm not positive. I don't know where it really is. Because it's kind of a post-apocalyptic world, like further in the future, where certain wars and different things have happened, politically wise as well. And the world's changed, but people have magical abilities. A lot of people do. And then there's other people who are normal who don't. And again, she is an orphan who was brought up, has a really bad backstory of what she went through in her schooling. But then she's been working really hard to pay off her mortgage and be like, taking bounties and stuff, as well as doing jobs where she is called in to like talk to the dead so that they can get questions answers for wills and things like that. So, I mean, it's really a great, if you want neuromancy, here you go. Here's a series. Anyway, so she is just hanging out at her house, and somebody knocks on her door, and it is a demon who has come to take her to hell to talk to the devil, or Lucifer, because he has a job for her to go after a demon that had gotten away from hell and taken something of very big importance, and she is sent to get him. And she has her own backstory with that demon, and that was all very interesting. So again, the first part of this is really, I think, is not the easiest start to an urban fantasy series that I've been through. You get really dropped into the world, and you just have to go along with it for a while. I think after the 100-page mark, it really picks up. And then I was just reading it super fast. So again, this is a reread for me. I really enjoyed this the second time around. I didn't remember everything. I remembered the end, but I didn't remember how he got there. Or there was actually a character in here. I completely forgot about him. Like, never remembered him at all. Like, I remember the other characters as they were introduced, but him, not a clue. This is funny how I'd forgotten him. Anyway, but I did read that pretty quickly, and my reread. So that was fun. But then that put me into a rereading kick. So I did listen to some audios this week. Even though my ear, Yeah, the ear appointment didn't go so well. I did kind of forget to tell you that. I do have to have another tube put in my ear. I do have fluid by my right ear, and I can't hear out of that ear at all anymore. So audiobooks are still kind of hard, but I went back to listening to my car. So the first one I picked up was a reread of a series that I want to finish this year. So I need to get started on it because it's a 9-book series. There's a lot of in-between books, but and novellas and short stories. So I want to make sure I get to this. So I did restart the Beyond series by Kate Rocha. They recently just finished up the Mercenary Librarians series, which I really enjoyed last year that I finished up. So this was their first series under this name. They've written many other more urban fantasy stuff under Maura Rogers, and I that's how I kind of came to Kit Rocha. And these are dystopian dystopian post-apocalyptic romances that are very, very sexy, super sexy, and very much polyamorous, and or other people getting involved in stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but it also has to do with the sectors around this big city that's the only one left after a post-apocalyptic event. And the sector 4 is where the O'Kanes rule, and they are big into liquor and cage fights, and so they're kind of like a gang, but they rule this one section of the area around this city that's closed off and called Eden. So we're following Noelle, who is kicked out of Eden. She is from there, and she's kicked out because she did something naughty, and she's punished very severely. And she luckily comes across two of the O'Kane men. One of them is Jasper, who takes kind of gets very protective of her pretty quickly, and then it's their love story kind of thing. But the world is describing how this series is going to go, and we're getting to meet a lot of characters and the politics and the problems and the action of things that are going to happen that are coming. So again, I really enjoyed my reread. I listened to it on audio by Lucy Malraux, sorry. And so I have several of them on audio. I can't remember, but it must have been a sale at some point because I bought quite a few of them. I don't have them all, but I have a lot of them on audio, the novels. The in-between stuff I'm going to have to read physically or Kindle because I have them both ways. Anyway, and then I also then picked up book 2 in the Dante Valentine series with Dead Man Rising by Lola St. Crow. So again, this is book 2 of 5. So this one is also a reread. I had read this also 10.5 years ago. And I don't know why after this ends, why I didn't pick up the next book. It kind of ends in a way where maybe I just felt it was okay to stop, which is kind of sad. There's so much stuff still open that I want to read about. So this is following the aftermath of what happens in Working for the Devil. So I can't say a whole lot about this. I did like this because of things that Dante Valentine has to deal with personally and grieving of certain things and and then also trying to track down a serial killer. So again, it has my favorite things in urban fantasies where there's a mystery and trying to catch somebody, she's hunting down somebody, but she also has her own issues, and then she has her friends and who are trying to watch out for her and stuff. So this was a really good one. I really enjoyed it overall. I liked it better than the first book. I think the first book is hard in the beginning and then it gets better. This one was it was good all the way through. I read it really, really fast. So that reread as well. So now I have to, pick up the third book at some point and actually read on in the series. So let's talk about the books I'm in the middle of. I have 2 that I did continue on to Beyond Control, which is book 2 in the Beyond series. So this is carrying on with a different couple that's dealing with the O'Kanes in the which is the gang in the sector 4. So these are talking about the 2 people who are kind of the ones who are in charge kind of thing, and then their story together. Oh, my cats are running around. Sorry. So I'm really enjoying this one. Again, I'm about Am I about 100? Let's see here. Well, I have, I don't know where it starts. Maybe I have less than I thought. I have about 80 pages left. So I think I have about an hour and a half on audio. Again, still Lucy Malone. Sorry. It's Malone. Anyway, again, fantastic audios. Again, as I said, I have some of these on audio. So I will hopefully during May be continuing these at some point. But again, I said I want to finish this one up. Probably finish it up Monday or Tuesday because again, I don't have very much. And I'm listening to it in the car. I sometimes listen to it at work, but I can only do it so long before the ear starts to bother me. So we'll see how that goes. And then I did start this last week and I kind of forgot to talk about it. And that was The Devilish Lord Will by Jennifer Ashley. This is book 10 in the Mackenzie McBride historical romance series that I have enjoyed for many years. And I just never continued until this year. So this is book 3 of the trilogy that's kind of in the center there that is going backwards. Because the first part of the series is the 1880s and 1890s. And these are actually from 1740s and 50s. So this is kind of going backwards in their ancestors, you know. So they're Scottish lords who were around for the Jacobite rebellion. And I think it's 1745. So again, this is book 3 of that. So this is the aftermath. And we're following Lord Will, who is one of the elder sons. And he is the Mackenzies. And he is kind of spy. He's like a spy. So he's, you know, working for Scotland against England. And so he tries to get involved in a lot of stuff. And he, his love story is with a woman who he had a relationship with before. And she backed away because his life was too dangerous and she had a young child from a previous marriage. So it's kind of like, it's a second chance romance, which is why I'm having trouble with it. And also the second thing is a lot of lying because he is a spy. So this is not a book I think I'm going to enjoy. I think I'm going to be trying to get through this here and there. I don't know when I'll finish it, but I just want to get through this book so I can get back to the main series, which goes back to the 1880s, 1890s, or wherever we're at on the timeline. You know, it's not that I don't like Will. It's just, I don't like him lying and stuff. And I don't like second chance romances very much but I like the woman who's the main POV, Josette. So, and I love her daughter. Her daughter's a Spitfire, Glenna, and she's like 16. So they're looking for a shipment of gold. So there's an adventure kind of thing in there as well. So I have read about 20% of that. That's as far as I've gotten. But now, again, they're going to go and have this little adventure, but it's going to be containing a lot of lying, and I'm having trouble. Anyway, so then let's talk about really quickly what I think I'm going to read in the next week. I really wanted to pick up the next book in the Dante Valentine series, The Devil's Right Hand. I might still do this. I might still read this first. But I just found out that the live show for the Catch Up Book Club put on by Becca and the Books is going to be on, I think, Sunday next week, like a week Sunday. So on the 7th. I'm not sure. I think it's on A Frolic Through Fiction. No, I don't remember what her channel name is. I'll have it linked down below. But anyway, I think the live show is supposed to be on her channel. I'll look at the post I saw on Twitter or on Instagram. But anyway, I thought I had another week, so I was going to read this next week. So I want to pick up the second book in the First Law series because we're reading along and I want to be able to watch the live show. But this is 560 pages? No, not even that much. Oh, good. 515 pages for book 2. And again, I don't know what's going to happen from where it ended in the last book. There was a lot of things going on and people are starting to move. But I don't know what this book is really about. We're really following characters who are from different parts of this world. And Logan is still my favorite. Anyway, point is, so I do want to read this because it's 500 pages, a little over 500 pages. But I might pick up this one today and start this one and get this done first, because I want to continue on and get this series done. I'm hoping in May is my goal now. I just, I just arbitrarily I started it after I did my TBR, but whatever. So point is that I'd like to continue on because of where it stopped in book number 2. I want to see what happens next, because again, it left it at a place where I'm like, I don't know where this is going. But the way it's called, The Devil's Right Hand, I'm kind of figuring the devil comes back into play here. So I kind of want to do that. So we'll see which ones of those I pick up. I do have a book from the library that I'd like to get to, which is In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. I was actually going to pick this up today until I figured out, until I started binging stuff. Sorry, I have to take a drink. Until I found out that the live show was a week earlier than I had thought. So I don't know. So either I'm going to read this after I finish Before They're Hanged, or I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I do want to read this. And again, this is a new release from T.J. Klune, so I do want to get to this month. Well, it's from the library, so I want to read it as fast as I can so I can turn it back in to give it to other people, because, again, there's already a wait list, and I was very lucky, and I was number 2. So I finally got my copy, though. So I do want to read that. Again, this is kind of a Pinocchio retelling with robots and something else. I don't remember what else. I don't know, but that's about it. I still want to read that. And then if I finish the audiobook for Beyond Control, and I want to keep listening to an audiobook, again, I don't have an appointment for my ear until next Wednesday, so it's a week and a half out. I think I might start Sister Novelist by Devoney Looser. So the trailblazing Porter sisters who paved the way for Austen and the Brontes. So again, I heard about this from Jenna over at Chicky Bean Loves Books, and I right away put it on my wish list. So I got the physical book, but I've got the audio with a credit from Audible, and that is narrated by Larissa Thompson. So I think I'm going to listen to it. I'm just not sure if it's going to be next. It just matters how I feel after I finish Beyond Control, but we'll see. And again, I do want to get to this. This is a book that I wanted to get to before, and I just finally decided to just go for it and get it. So we'll see how that goes. So those are all the books and the things that I'm in the middle of and what's kind of going on in my world. I'm going to try to also get my library book haul, so part 1 of April's book haul, done sometime this week. And then I'll do my other half of the book haul, all the stuff that I bought before the library book sales, or not that's not a library book sale book. Hopefully the next week. So we'll see. I did miss doing a try a chapter video in April. It's just I never had time for it or had the inclination. So I think what I'm going to do is in May, I don't think I'm going to do 2 of them. I think I'm just going to skip April. But in May, I think I'm going to do it with a couple of the library book sale books that I got that I was unsure of, but I picked up just to see what happens. So if you think that's a good idea, let me know. I think that's what I'm going to do sometime in mid to late May. I don't know if I'm going to get it ahead of time, because my mom is coming to stay with me this next weekend because my dad is going rock hunting. So I get to see my parents a lot, which is, well, I get to see my mom more this time. I spent more time with my dad this weekend, even though, I stayed with both of them. But, I'll have more time with my mom this weekend. So we'll see what I get done. I think that's it. So, again, I will have linked below my Q&A if you want to go check that out. I had fun filming that. Who knows? And then, anyway, let me know what you guys are reading. How was your reading in the last week of April? As I said, mine switched. I was not going to read stuff, and then I just started rereading, and I'm getting into 2 series that I want to finish this year that were, well, the Beyond series was on my list for Serious About Series, books I wanted to read, the books that I'd read before, and then continue on. But the Dante Valentine was not on that list this year. It was on last year's list, but not this year. But oh well. I added more books, more series that I'm working on right now. So let's see if I can get some stuff done. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let me know how you guys are doing or anything else you want to talk about, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.